Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We've been hanging because there was breaking news this morning, and thanks to all my members, I got to keep remembering to turn that off until you actually do it, but thanks to everybody who activated Planeteer status. Appreciate all you guys so much, and we are, hold on, I'm going to do that again because it's supposed to be off. Stay off. Here we go. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We've been live. So many amazing people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks to Puff for the links and everybody else who sends me links. I try to thank everybody when I do, but you guys are sending a lot of links. So keep them coming, but just bear with me as I try to get through everything. And thanks so much to our amazing members-only stream. I just saw Annette said it. Members-only last night was so amazing live with so much love, support, freedom to speak. Andy, you rock. Become a member for perks. Thank you so much for saying that, Annette. For real, though, I had so much fun talking with you guys. So not only do you get the whole replays of shows, but I am going to do those more often. We do these member-only. We get to call in, we get to talk. It's not thousands of people watching. I think we had about 60 or 70 of you guys. We got to get a lot closer and talk to each other and build this community up. I'm so grateful to all of you. So thanks to everybody who tuned in. We're live here every day, weekday at 12 o'clock, around 12 o'clock. I try to set it as close as I can. Please be patient with me. I'm a one-man band. But we're here to break the biggest news of the day. We're still covering the search for Brian. At a certain point, we're going to have to pivot some other stories because there's not much new news coming. However, today there was some breaking news, and I want to get to it. So we were watching FLA. They just finished, so I just wanted to give you the full summary. Here's the report from the chopper himself.
We're out in the Carlton Reserve off the Power Line Road, and we've found a group of people that have been searching the area. This area is between the Venice area and the Northport area of where the search has been going. They've used this area as a command center in the past. Now today in the search, Pasco County Sheriff has said they've had 2 canine units out in this area searching the area. A difference of this area is a lot of the water has receded in this area, so they're able to get into areas they couldn't get into before. Now, we haven't seen a lot of searching out in the actual wooded area because, again, like we've been telling you, the wooded area is definitely thicker, but at least it's a little bit drier, but that doesn't mean it's all the way dry. You can see right here how wet the ground still is, even after water has receded. But again, the search continues in the Carlton Reserve. In Eagle 8 HD, Paul Lamison, 8 on your side.
Paul gives some great reports there from the chopper. So there you go. There's K9 units there, which Brian Enton was also very quick to put out there, and also pointed out here by the attorney, by the FBI agent Jennifer Kovendaffer says, the attorney has repeatedly said he's representing the family and he's representing Brian. You wouldn't represent someone who's not alive. Former FBI agent thinks Brian Laundrie is alive. Now, as we're watching this footage, I got to be honest, guys, and I said this to the audience earlier, there's a very strong likelihood that he's dead and he's in that reserve. Now, I'm not saying they have more agents. We've talked to, as Detective Hubbard has told us before, you'd have so many more agents and specific vans and stuff for that if they really thought the body was there. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we were all off on this lifting up Brian Laundrie as this serial mastermind criminal. He could have just totally died in the reserve a week ago and has been there decomposing since. It is would be such a bummer of an ending because we won't get any actual answers or what we expect, but we got to start preparing for it's possible. It's totally possible that could happen. And so they're back out there at the reserve again. My goodness, they've spent so much time, resources, taxpayer money checking out this reserve, all because the parents said that's where he went, and that's where the Mustang is. So there's something happening here. We're back here again. But at the end of the day, we don't have any new information. We don't know what this actually means, but they're still back there searching. As Brian said, there was, canine human remains detecting dogs that they're from Pasco County, which is near Tampa Bay, which is where I'm from. And apparently they're the only ones who have sort of those types of dog, those canines embedded with the force. So that's why they got called today. Maybe they just because of the availability. Who knows? Again, a lot of speculation today. Let's be honest. A lot of speculation. No real news, sadly. So that's the information we have so far on the breaking news that started today. So I want to make sure you guys got that. What do you think, though? Do you think Brian Laundrie could just be dead at the reserve? I asked a poll, the live viewers. We already have over 2,000 votes. And you guys, say no. A lot of you just refuse to accept that he could be dead. 63% said no way, he's there. 21% said yes, he's been dead for a while. 16% says he's there but not dead. So still a big majority of you saying over the majority that he's there. He's not there. He's still alive. Holding out hope that we'll get justice for Gabby. But man, anything is possible these days. Anything is possible. All right, so I have two other stories, though, before I clip today's. Two main events I want to make sure we get to. Top stories, whatever. I got probably a proper way to call it. But Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up to Cassie's house last night. He claimed Cassie certainly knows more about Laundrie's disappearance. Despite his ankle injury, he's now back on the force. I think he's realized he couldn't just dip out like he thought he could. And so he's back out there, and he's proceeding to look more into this case and everything that's going on. And he last night showed up at Cassie's house. So here's the footage from TMZ.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Man, what a
Hopes in speaking with her.
Speculation, but it's possible. So I don't know. He also usually a tell when you know it's rigged is when you answer more questions than you need to. Typically, most often than not, you just keep walking, you ignore and say thanks, take care. But no, Dog was very open and willing to answer the questions. Now that's also kind of Dog in general. He likes the attention and wants the press. So hard to tell what's going on here, but interesting to see him now showing up to Cassie's house uninvited, I guess. I'd be more impressed if Cassie was willing to sit down with him and actually have a conversation. But to me, that's more of the story here, that Cassie didn't see him. The fact that Dog's going there knocking and not getting an answer is interesting. Will he try again? I mean, good for him to try to get something from the sister. I feel like if Dog could sit with the sister, I do believe Dog's probably a good interrogator and getting a good vibe on someone. And so I think it would be interesting to have him sort of press her a little bit more, but I'm sure she's not going to let it happen. But she did come out and talk to those protesters who she shouldn't have talked to. If Dog could catch her at the right time, anything's possible, right? So I don't have a problem with this. In fact, I think he did it respectfully. It wasn't like some of those people screaming like they were at the Laundrie house last night. Dog's there doing a job, knocked politely. She didn't come. He left. It's during the day. I don't have a problem with that. But could this have been a staged op? Maybe. Because good to have the press there. It shows you're back on the case. And if he had gotten inside the house and had TMZ was able to report that breaking, then huge amounts of media would have swarmed on that house. And that would have been a lot way better for Dog to get the news out than Dog tweeting it before he left. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to look at it as a person who's been in the industry and knows how this all works. You got to look at it from all sides. I don't know what Dog's intent was here, but he did show up to Cassie's house. What do you guys think in the chat? You think that was just accidental that the media was there while he showed up, or do you think that was a little bit of a staged plan? Curious what your thoughts are there. So that's Dog hunting for Brian at Cassie's. Yeah, thank you, JB. Disagreement or skepticism isn't hate. It's true. We're not trying to hate on Dog. I want to be real on Dog, because we got to look at it from what it all is. That's, as someone who has marketing and industry experience and I've dealt with celebrities and how all that works, I can tell you more of what's really going on. Joey says, who cares if it's staged? Because, dude, why are you here? Joey, why are you here? Who cares? Who cares about any of this? If you really want to be like that glib. What are you doing, Joey, on these stories if you don't even care whether it's staged? We got to look at every little piece. And if you don't want to look at every other piece, what are you doing here? Him showing up to a house and she's not there, I could argue back, who cares? Them looking over the reserve again and nothing's there, I could argue, who cares? Joey, what do you care about? And why are you here? I'm curious what you guys think. If Dog is going to Cassie's house with the intent to get a press op, I care about that. I think it's a completely different thing. So I'm so sick of these idiots. It's important that we talk about what's going on and the points, because we got little information and you guys want to see it. And the fact that it's staged or not does say a lot about what's going on. And is it a play to get Brian? That's what we talk about here. So relax, Joey. But so that's the information with Dog. Okay, we got that out of the way. I want to go next to Brian Enton. Thank you, Openly Avoidant. Showing some love. Congratulations on the growth. You seem like a natural in front of the camera. Pleasure to be here. Keep being yourself. Oh, and you just became a member? Well, you earned this one. Yes, you are now a Popcorn Planeteer. Welcome. Activated. Go Planet! Thank you so much for joining. You'll be able to join our members-only streams. We had one last night. It was amazing, as well as the replays. These always get clipped because I want the main portions of the show, the most important parts to get to you. The rest of it's sort of us hanging out, talking more specifically, breaking news, and doing some other stories that I'll clip for later. So if you want to become a member, like Openly Avoidant, you can click join. Thank you so much. More perks are coming thanks to our last stream. I'm working on some new opportunities, some new Telegram chat rooms, etc. That will all... why is that? I'm going to turn that off. That'll all give you guys more benefits and more perks. But members who were there last night in our stream, tell us down in the chat how you thought. Was that worth it? Was that fun? Should people sign up? Would love to get your support or questions or criticism. Feel free to send it over. All right, next up, I want to go to this other topic I put in there, which is the fact that the coroner seems to be on a press tour. Now, I don't know if you guys remember when the coroner did that hideous Zoom meeting, but he said pretty loudly, I thought. Sorry, let me unmute my alerts. I thought it was pretty loud that he's like, I'm not going to say anything further. Was it just me, or did the coroner say, I'm not going to say anything further? Because the coroner's out. There's another one on Inside Edition I got to track down. But the coroner's out there now doing interviews and giving more information about, the autopsy. Like, why? There's no need for this except for him trying to get some press. And I just look at this and I'm like, it's just weird. Like, you worked on Gabby's dead body. Like, do you really think the parents want you to keep going out there giving more and more details? I just don't get it. This part of the case gets where it's weird. Like, I think the cause of death and time of death, those are important information. Thank you for the developments, but he had a chance to put the developments out and then go back to doing his job and doing other cases. It's weird to see him on a press tour. I got to be honest, to going to do more interviews and everything else. I understand the press wants it, and I guess maybe I'm overthinking this. I'm curious what you guys think in the chat. Let me know if I'm overthinking this, but it's just weird to see him out there, and he's sort of repeating just the same things he's already said. So why? But anyway, he's getting a little bit more specific on things, and so let's hear what he said to Brian Enton last night.
Dr. Blue, you said yesterday that the cause of death was manual strangulation, throttling. Can you explain what that means, especially the throttling part?
Throttling generally means that it was done with human hands as opposed to an instrument. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but manual strangulation basically means that it was not done with equipment.
How do you determine that?
Well, it's determined by the nature of the injuries around the neck.
Dr. Blue says he's not allowed to get into Gabby's specific injuries because of the ongoing FBI investigation. He says her body was discovered nearly a month after she was killed.
What sort of challenges are involved in an autopsy when a body, as you described yesterday, has been out in the wild for 3 to 4 weeks?
In the situation where any body is out in the outside, whether it's exposed to the elements and insects and animals, there is various forms of decomposition.
At yesterday's news conference, the coroner brought up domestic violence and today clarified his comments this way.
There were indications that Gabby was in a relationship, a domestic relationship, which could play a part in this case, but I don't have any direct evidence of that.
Nice spin, Doctor. Not buying it.
So a lot of things that the coroner said he just cannot talk about at this stage of the investigation. He did, though, confirm that both DNA and toxicology tests were done. He would not elaborate, though. Marnie?
Right.
So there you go.
Dr. Blue, you said yesterday that the cause of death was...
Generally means that it was done with human hands.
This specific, I guess, is interesting. Why he didn't just give us that yesterday?
Opposed to an instrument. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but manual strangulation basically means that it was not done with equipment.
How do you determine that?
Well, it's determined by the...
So we heard, but that's really the detail we got. That he's like, yeah, it was manual, which is what the document actually that leaked later said, and he could have just said that, made that very clear, answered what manual strangulation means, and then we would have been done, and the doctor could have gotten his piece out there. He could have done it probably on a better format of media, so everyone could get that film clip, and then we'd be done. But it's weird. So he not only that, he was on Inside Edition. I couldn't find it quickly, but he showed up to Inside Edition as well, which I'm just like, really? I see some of you seem to agree with me. Some of you just complaining I talk too fast, telling me to slow down. It's like, dude, I can't control that. God, people just are mean. I can't find it. There was I think it's this one where they got here he is again.
Mean
Throttling.
Strangulation, throttling. What does that exactly mean?
Throttling just means done without an instrument or done with hands to choke someone. There are indications that this was a domestic violence case.
What are those indications?
The indications basically were that she was traveling with a partner.
Experts tell us Gabby's killer must
Man, this
have
guy's
been
cool. Steve is cool. Like that jacket, Steve. And it's just everything's looking cool. I don't like Inside Edition that much though. But there you go. It's just is it weird to you guys that he's out there doing these more and more press inferences? And yeah, someone has said it, but I think I saw he's complaining about the media attention, but then he's giving more media appearances. I can't figure this guy out. Does he want the exposure? Is that why he's doing it? It's all very weird to me. But there we go. We got more information on the throttling, which it confirms the manual throttling, meaning it's that, which is just horrifying. It's horrifying because it just means like you had a chance to stop and you didn't. And you decided to not only do it, but then like watch the life away. As Dog himself said, it's not an accident. It's not an accident. So, I mean, I guess thank you for reiterating this, Doctor, but I feel like it's just it's a bunch of weird information he keeps giving us, and he's out there a lot. Coroner is an elected position. He is a politician and wants media FaceTime. There you go, Jen S. Jen S from last night. Good to see you, Jen, from East Coast, Jen. You were there. Thanks for being there last night, if that's still you. Appreciated you. Everybody else was there, and well said, if that's the case. There was a couple other comments I'll get to before I clip this that were related to this. Gene Rick, love the new graphics. Andy, thank you. Yeah, there's more coming, so stay tuned. And Nicole Hayes became a member. Thank you so much, Nicole. You are now a Popcorn Planeteer. The black bar will eventually not be there. The black box. It'll make it cooler. So stay tuned. And I'll have sound effects. So thank you. Oh, Nidra and Nicole, you just both got that graphic for yourself, so appreciate it. Jen S, again, since Cassie saw him when he came home in the campground, she likely saw scratches or bruises on his arms or hands, which would incriminate Brian. Facts. Good call, Jen S. There's a lot that Cassie could reveal. It's true. And I imagine that's why we should be careful saying this stuff out loud, because I do worry they're watching. But it's true. Like, it would be nice if she slipped up and did do that and it was on the record. And especially if he was like filming it, because then we have a record of it. Now it's not under oath, right? So it's different. You want to do that more in the court, right, with the depositions and stuff. So it makes sense why everyone doesn't want. You're not supposed to do it, or why you're not supposed to interview them, when it's not right. So still, I notice we want the information, but guys, we also want to make sure that he gets put away and caught. So sometimes the information not coming to us can help that. So. And then thank you, Gene Rick, again. Openly avoidant, we got there. And Annette, thank you again, we got that one. And Phoenix, I think I called you earlier. There we go. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Well, all right, we have some more to go through. Also, this crazy man with a bow and arrow that killed all these people in Norway. Some other news stories I want to get to, plus the Chappelle update. Netflix has responded, and some more about this case as well as your comments and questions. So much more coming here on the channel. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are far from done. May even take some calls today, but I want to clip this portion for the replay so people get the main topics as advertised in my thumbnail and stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button or the join button to help support the channel. And we got lots more coming. In fact, we're doing a very big special DV awareness charity drive that we're planning with Steph. We talked about it last night. It's coming probably end of next week is what I'm thinking now. We'll lock up the time, the charity soon, and I hope all of you will be able to attend. I'll give you plenty of warning, as well as get some special guests and a lot of you guys coming in to share your stories, because we've learned a lot, as the coroner rather said, this was a domestic situation, and I think a lot of people need to be educated on more things to look for, and a lot of women. We had an amazing story last night where we were to help one of our own fans sort of help stand up in a bad situation that they're in. I look forward to doing more with that and you and this community that is amazing. So many amazing brave people in this community. And I look forward to doing that fundraiser with you soon. So lots more on deck. Stay tuned for more here in Popcorn Planet. Again, if you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We got lots more to go through. Just want to clip the skies for the main topics. You can always hit join and watch the full 3-hour replays.